Okay, Silver47 Exploration. To introduce the company, we are creating a leading, high-grade, US-focused silver developer. Now, we use those words very intently because to date, we have assembled 3 high-grade projects in the United States, Alaska, Nevada, and New Mexico that combined host 247 million silver equivalent ounces between 300 and 400 grams per ton, depending on zones indicated and inferred. As it stands today, we have 27 million Canadian in working capital and are fully funded to execute drill programs on all 3 of our core assets over the next 12 months. Now, before continuing, I would just like to highlight a few of our best drill intercepts to date on our projects. Red Mountain in Alaska, our flagship, 36 meters of 672 grams per ton, 6 meters of almost 2,000 grams. Down in New Mexico, 31 meters of 448 grams. These results, I think, demonstrate the robust nature of our portfolio of assets and also highlight the unique discovery potential that we have here.
Preventing that door from shutting?
Significant re-rate potential. When we take a basket of our other high-grade silver peers, and there's not many of them, and we look at them on an EV per ounce basis, essentially what's the market valuing every ounce in the ground, they trade anywhere between $1.30 and almost $2.50 per ounce in the ground. Today, we get less than 30 cents. I look at this and I see an immediate opportunity for us to come and get a re-rating, especially if we can execute on our plan here to drill these 3 projects over the next year. Management team. Gary Thompson is our executive chairman. He is a geologist by trade. He's co-founded a number of junior mining companies over the last 2 decades, most recently Brixton Metals. Galen McNamara, he is our CEO and director. He's also been a geologist now for approximately 20 years. A lot of his exploration and development success came over at NextGen Energy, the well-known uranium company here over in Canada. He managed the drilling there between 2014 and 2018. Chris York, our VP of Operations, he's managed a number of drill programs in Nevada for some of the major mining companies in the district. And myself, Giordy, I am the Vice President of Investor Relations. I've been in the silver space now for close to 6 years. Capital structure. These are all Canadian figures. Our recent share price is 76 cents. With about 172 million shares outstanding, that gives us approximately a $150 million valuation. We have no debt and 27 million in working capital. Notable shareholders. I'll note management owns approximately 10% of the company. Eric Sprott is our largest individual shareholder. He personally owns 9% of the company. Institutional shareholders make up about 18%. In there, I'll note a few names. Crescat Capital is a large shareholder. Some of the Sprott resource funds that are separate from Eric personally as well are shareholders. It doesn't have it here on the slide, but our average trading volume in Canada is between 3 and 5 million shares per day. The Red Mountain project in Alaska, this is our flagship. It hosts 168 million ounces silver equivalent. Average grade here is 336 grams per ton. I'll note Alaska as a state is ranked top 3 mining jurisdiction globally. There are 7 large operating mines in the state. And a big advantage for us here is that we actually operate exclusively on state-managed land. So we're free from BLM, Forest Service, and any federal bureaucracies. I'll note our entire resource area here is made exclusively of 2 targets. That is Dry Creek and West Tundra Flats. And that is where all exploration was focused over the summer. We drilled 15 holes there this summer. 8 of them we've released already, and 7 more remain pending, which will be released pretty imminently. Last thing here on the slide as well, you'll see about 35 other mineralized prospects that we've identified across the district here. All of them have seen little to no modern exploration and show that this is really one of those classic VMS-style deposits that form in clusters. And so far, we've really only drill tested 2 of those. Dry Creek long section. Again, this is where we spent about half of our time and money this summer. I don't want to bore you guys in numbers, but just to give you a couple highlights, 672 grams over 36 meters, almost 2,000 grams over 6 meters are some of our best results here. West Tundra, this is again one of the other deposits in the resource. Just to show you what the focus of our summer program here was, we drilled 2 holes right into a resource gap in the middle of the deposit. Both of those intersected high-grade numbers. So the goal here for us right now is to update the resource in Q1 of 2026. The goal is to get this from 168 million ounces to hopefully something with a 2 in front of it. At that point, we think that number would support a strong PEA. The Hughes project. This one here is halfway between Reno and Las Vegas in the historic Tonopah mining district. Tonopah was the 2nd largest silver producer in the state, produced 175 million ounces of silver, almost 2 million ounces of gold, at average grades around 1,200 grams per ton. This area is one of those ones, if you're a geologist, you probably read about in textbooks in university, but it hadn't really seen any modern exploration until about 2020. These are our claims highlighted in blue here. I'll note that there is a neighbor company here called BlackRock Silver that has the western side of the district. Combined here, there's about, between our claims and BlackRock's, 160 million ounces identified between 4 and 500 grams per ton. This is road accessible, about a 3-hour drive from Las Vegas, with commercial water and grid power all accessible from the town of Tonopah. I will note as well, all of the ounces here are exclusively on private land. Private land in Nevada, we don't even need a drill permit, which, as I live in British Columbia, Canada, find that quite crazy. So it's a great place to operate, and we're very fortunate to be able to have year-round access here. Just looking at a plan view here, the yellow and purple shaded areas are the resource areas, but more notably, the recent efforts of our exploration here has been on testing the eastern extension to the district. That's this Ruby target east to Sapphire. That's about 4 kilometers of underexplored area that we've only drilled 6 holes into so far. The best one here was 1,450 grams over 3 meters. This is an excellent starting point for us, but as we know what is on the western half of this fault zone, grades here can get up to well over 1,000 grams over 10, 20, 30 meters wide. So that is ultimately what we're chasing here, and we'll be back drilling on this project hopefully by the springtime of this year. The Mogollon project. This is in southwest New Mexico. This project is 32 million ounces at 367 grams per ton. And we have a funny saying here that this is the northernmost of the classic Mexican-style vein deposits. We say that because this project here, we have 77 kilometers of cumulative strike length, but we've really only been focused on the one main vein here called the Queen Vein. You can see the yellow area is the resource outline. This vein gets up to be 30, 40, even 50 meters wide at its widest point. It's incredibly rare to see something like this in the United States. They're much more typical down in Mexico, but again, we have the political advantage here of being north of the border. Just looking at a long section view here, this is the 2-kilometer resource area. We've really only drilled out the first 500 meters of strike length here at the consolidated target. We've done 19 out of the 22 holes there. Our best hit, 31 meters of 448 grams per ton. We follow that up with 23 meters of 445 and some other higher grade hits as well. I'll note we're going to be drilling here hopefully in the next couple weeks, doing a winter program with the goal of showing a pathway here to a critical mass. Again, we're just sitting right now with 32 million ounces here, but based on 22 holes, we're getting very good discovery cost per ounce, ounce per meter, ounce per hole, whatever metric you want to look at. We're discovering silver very cheaply here. And then just to put it back into perspective for you, the resource outline, it's not highlighted here, but it's a very small portion of the entire land package. There's about 75 kilometers of veins that have seen little to no modern exploration that we'll be getting at here over the next few years worth of drill programs. Upcoming catalysts and work plan. Again, we have 27 million in cash today, so we're fully funded to drill all 3 of these projects over the next 12 months. The first one that we're going to be drilling here, the Mogollon project throughout the winter, the Hughes project throughout the springtime, and then back to Red Mountain in Alaska throughout next summer. I do also anticipate that we're going to be looking to do an updated resource again at Red Mountain in Q1 of 2026. And then lastly as well, ongoing review of some accretive M&A opportunities that we see. We're a high-grade company. We're high-grade silver focused in the U.S. We want to continue to build on that. And there's 2 ways for us to grow in this business. One's through the drill bit and the other one's through M&A. So we're going to be very aggressive in both of those regards over the next 12 months. And hopefully we can take advantage of a generational silver market. Q&A time?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time for Q&A. 3 minutes.
Perfect. Yes?
Yeah, these 7 drills still outstanding for Red Mountain. When are you expecting them?
I would say in the next couple weeks. Pretty imminent. Yeah.
Can you maybe take a step back and break down the acquisition, the M&A deal that brought the company about?
So throughout the summer, we did a merger with Suma Silver. Suma brought the 2 assets that were in the lower 48, the Hughes project in Nevada and the Mogollon project in New Mexico. The Red Mountain asset, that one came from the Silver47 side. And we had a couple goals of this merger. One of them is that because Red Mountain's in Alaska, it has a drilling season from June until early October. These other 2 assets from the Suma side allow for year-round drilling, and it allows us to scale up. There's not many silver assets out there, certainly not many in the United States. So putting all 3 of these together for combined 247 million ounces definitely increases our opportunity to find bigger institutional money and eventually chase hopefully a U.S. listing.
And so the cash in the bank came from, was a concurrent financing during?
So we did do a concurrent financing. That was a sub-receipt with the merger. However, the bulk of that cash actually comes from a raise that we did that we closed on September 16th, where we raised $23 million.
Okay. A question back there.
Yes?
You mentioned that you would like to be active in M&A as well.
That's right.
At the same time, your valuation is at a big discount to many of your competitors. How do you square that? Because you don't want to do dilutive M&A.
Yeah, I think when I look at our EV per ounce and why we trade so cheaply, obviously one reason is that our ounces are over 3 projects. So it will be getting discounted because of that. I would also think, when I come to a lot of these conferences and I show people that chart, they say, I know Dolly Varden, I know BlackRock, I know Argentus Silver, but I've never heard of Silver47. I think a lot of it has to do with that. The company's been listed for less than a year. So I think a lot of the valuation gap has to do with that. And then in terms of being aggressive with M&A and not spreading ourselves too thin, I think that it's a double-edged sword. Eventually, we want to have a full pipeline of these assets where we have maybe one that's fully advanced and that we're putting into production, maybe one that's development, one that's grassroots, greenfield. So we want to be able to stagger them throughout a pipeline. So I think that that's kind of our focus. But again, there's not many of these assets out there. It does need to fit into that core focus of ours. So it's a small group of companies that we have to choose from there.